Okay, welcome back. This is Al with New Reflections Technical Institute, and today we're about to perform an in-cab inspection followed by a series of brake tests. The first thing you want to do, like I always say, is tell the examiner what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, then perform it, because they can't read your mind, okay? So the first step of for your in-cab inspection and brake test, you want to hop in to the examiner that's about to perform an in-cab inspection followed by a series of brake tests. Turn your key to the on position. Make sure all your lights come on, and leave the key alone. Okay. Make sure that you explain to her that the ABS light comes on and goes off, and then we're going to do the in-cab inspection. I do the in-cab inspection like reading a book, left to right, so I won't miss anything. Okay. So starting with my seat belt. My seat belt is properly mounted and secured. It's not worn, torn, or frayed. It latches and it unlatches properly. My windows are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broke. It's not missing the hardware. They're free from illegal stickers and obstruction. My mirrors are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broke. It's not missing any hardware. They're also free from illegal stickers and obstruction, and they're aimed towards me. My highway horn works properly. My city horn works properly. My windshield is properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, bent, or broke. It's not missing any hardware. It's also free from illegal stickers and obstructions. My windshield wipers are properly mounted and secure. Not cracked, bent, or broke. It's not missing any hardware. My windshield wiper blades are properly mounted and secure with no abrasion, bulges, or cuts, and they're pressed firmly against the glass, and they dispense this water evenly across the windshield. Inside my glove box, I have extra fuses because this is a fuse-driven vehicle. Behind my passenger seat, there will be 3 red reflector triangles that are properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's not missing any hardware. On the side of me over here, I have a BC fire extinguisher that's properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. It's filled to the proper level. On my floor, it's free from debris. My dash is free from debris. My right turn signal works properly from the inside. My left turn signal works properly from the inside. My high beams works properly from the inside. And my low beams also works properly from the inside. My full-way flashes work properly from the inside. And my defrost dispenses heat at the top and bottom evenly. Okay? It's just like reading a book, left to right. If you do it that way, you will not leave out anything. Now, since we're done with the in-cab inspection, that's when you let the examiner know, now I'm about to do a series of brake tests. Push the knobs in before you start explaining what you're doing. If you start explaining what you're doing before you push your knobs in, you're going to forget to push your knobs in, and then you're going to fail. So first thing you do is put your knobs in, and you let the examiner know the first part of my brake test is called a leak test. And how I do that, I'm going to hold my foot on the brake for 60 seconds, and I shouldn't lose no more than 4 psi. So you put your foot on the brake, it's going to drop a little bit, then it's going to stop. That's when the examiner is going to time you and make sure that you don't lose no more than 4 psi from the time that she starts timing you, okay? All right, we'll act like that's 60 seconds. All right, I didn't lose no more than 4 psi, which means I don't have a leak. My next part of my brake test is called the emergency brake test. And how I do that, I'm going to fan my brakes down to 60 psi, and my low buzzer indicator light should come on. There it is, it works properly. The next part of my brake test I'll be performing is a parking brake test, where I'm gonna continue fanning my brakes down between 20 and 40 psi's, and my knobs are gonna pop back out. Whatever you do, do not touch the knobs, okay? If one pops out, you keep pumping till either pops out. There they go, they both popped out, they're both working properly. The next part of my brake test I'm about to perform is a service brake test. But before I do that, I need to do a safe start and build back up my air pressure. So now while that's building up, we're going to talk about gauges. The oil gauge is rising to the proper level. The temperature gauge is rising to the proper level. My primary and secondary air is rising to the proper level between 120 and 140, and my voltage should be between 12 and 14 volts. So then you give it a little gas and bring up your RPMs to 12, brings up your air pressure. And what I like to do at this time is make small talk with the examiner so everything won't be so stiff. It's, how about them Chiefs, How they day going, just break the ice. You want to always build up your air pressure till your truck sneezes. That means that the governor is kicking in at 120 to 140 psi's. All right, that's enough air. So now, the next part of the brake test is a service brake test, where we include a tug test and a driving rolling test. So the first test we're going to do is a tug test on the tractor. So if you want to do a tug test on the tractor, make sure that the tractor brakes are working. Make sure you push in the trailer and keep the tractor brakes out. Put it in drive and press slowly down on the accelerator. The truck is going to shift. That works properly. Put it back in neutral. Now we're going to do a tug test on the trailer. So push in the tractor, make sure the trailer brakes are out. Repeat the steps, put it in drive, and press slowly on the accelerator, and it held. Now, the last part of the brake test is where we drive 5 miles an hour with our hands slightly on the steering wheel to see if our combination vehicles pulls to the left or the right. All right. Our combination vehicle didn't pull to the left or the right, which means I don't need any service to my brakes, and this concludes my in-cab inspection. So that's how you perform the in-cab and brake test. If you do the in-cab and brake test the way I showed you guys, left to right, you should be able to do the in-cab inspection and brake test up under 6 minutes, okay? So take your time, explain thoroughly, and go into depth, all right? Thank you guys for choosing New Reflections Technical Institute.